Imagine if you could travel through time, if you could change the past, if you could change the future. Timemaster, a journey to the end of the universe, coming April 28th to a theater near you.
In the year 2006, the most popular game in the universe is a game of virtual reality. A game where time travelers control the past, present, and future of their human captives, then bet on their survival.
The prize, eternal life. The penalty, death.
But this time, the game has gone too far when they threaten the very existence of Earth.
Thermonuclear destruction of Earth will make quite a spectacle.
Now, one of their own, Isaiah, decides to stop the madness. But he needs the help of young Jesse, whose parents have been taken as pawns in this deadly game.
Jesse boy, your parents are not dead, but they are in very grave danger. And hopefully, I can teach you how to help them.
Together, they embark on the greatest adventure of their lives.
There's something you must know when you set off to travel through time. Once you set foot through those doors, nothing again will ever be the same.
And when you travel through time, you never know where you'll land next. Starring Pat Morita, Jesse Cameron-Glickenhaus, Michelle Williams, Joanna Pacula, and Michael Dorn. Timemaster.
In a distant world, a young boy trapped in the past is given a chance to save the future.
Did you come from outer space?
I didn't come from outer space.
From another place. Another time.
Caught in a wrinkle in time, his destiny controlled by a deadly game of virtual reality. Can he get back to the future in time to save the one he loves?
I think I like this Jesse better than the one I used to know.
Let the adventure begin. Imagine if you could travel through time, if you could change the past, if you could change the future. Timemaster. When Hollywood tinkers with time travel, anything can happen. And in the hands of writer-director James Glickenhaus, everything does.
Action!
I'm Michael Dorn. Many of you know me as Lieutenant Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation. In the new action-adventure film, Timemaster, a young boy travels through time to rescue his family from a diabolical virtual reality game controlled from the future. The prize, eternal life. The penalty, death. Let the games begin.
It's It's an adventure across space and time. It's a fantasy that all of us have had. If we could travel through time, how could we change our own lives and the course of history? What I had always wanted to do is to make a film that wasn't an entire Western, but that one part was a Western and one part was a James Bond ski scene and one part was a futuristic Blade Runner type film and one part was like a Shoaling Temple, ancient China film. And to find a way to integrate these great genres together and to put them into one exciting film.
In Timemaster, I play the chairman. I control the past, I control the future. I manipulate events in far-off galaxies. How glorious it's going to be. Thermonuclear destruction of Earth will make quite a spectacle. The chairman walks a tightrope between being a mass murderer and being an astute businessman. He turned this commodity and this idea he hit on into something even bigger, but the only way you can have it be that big is if people die. We're going to play the game in a little while. If you lose, I will strap you into a chair and suck the life out of you. As the master time traveler, Isaiah, the Karate Kid's Pat Morita guides young Jesse on his quest through space and time.
I'd like to try and show you how to change the future. Not the past or the present, but the future. Come along.
Isaiah is a timeless person. He's traveled through time. He has the means to travel through time. He goes in and out of time. He's been in and out of time. Space is nothing but a travel vehicle for him.
Get this! Inside! Jesse!
Here again is a wonderful opportunity to play a character that encourages youth. I would welcome many opportunities, every other kind of opportunity, to answer to the same kind of calling.
Jesse Cameron-Glickenhaus plays the young orphan who sets out not only to change the past, but to alter the course of history.
I've been there.
Run, Jesse!
I'm gonna kill your pa, and I'm gonna kill you.
I've worked for my father before, and I like working for him because I really trust him, because he's made a lot of movies before, so he knows what he's doing and he knows what he wants. I like the movie because I like the idea that there's no separation between the past, the present, and the future. It's like there's so many possibilities. It's like you don't really know what to think.
Joanna Pacula, who most recently appeared in the movie Tombstone, plays Jesse's mother in the film.
Timemaster is a great adventure. It's a wonderful movie for, I think, everybody. And on top of everything, it gives you a little bit of excitement and takes you to different places, different areas, and feeds your imagination. Evelyn is a character which is fascinating for me. It's very interesting to play this character, to kind of take the same person through the different environments and different periods of times.
There aren't any more airplanes, Jesse.
Duncan Regehr, television Zorro, portrays Jesse's father in the film. Regehr welcomed the physical challenges of his role.
I don't like anything easy. I work out generally all the time and try to stay in as good physical condition as I can, but this is a little more complex than usual. I think Jonathan is a true hero. Suddenly his world becomes a very different place and constantly changing because he's thrust into different periods of time. Everything he goes into is a battle of some sort.
Combining explosive action and cutting-edge visual technology, Timemaster shatters the boundaries between past and future time and space, reality and fantasy. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be big. It's going to be, you know, a lot of effects. It's really going to be pretty incredible.
We are on a green screen stage, and the purpose for shooting something on a green screen stage is so that we can put any background behind the subject that we want. Effects have gotten to the point where you can make whatever it is you're dreaming of look real.
One of the revolutions that's happening is the ability to interface film and computers and to change images. And this is really the first time I've been involved in a film like that, so I'm very excited about it. I think that Timemaster is a popcorn movie in the sense of you'll have a good time watching it. You'll leave the theater smiling. I think that I got really exactly what I was looking to get. I think we got a terrific movie. I'm very, very excited about the prospects for it.
That's magic.
That's not magic. That's movies.
Timemaster, behind the scenes, take one.
Basically, I'm a visual action filmmaker, and there's tons of it in Timemaster, as much as in any film I've ever done. The great thrill for me is doing these big action set pieces in locations that are just visually incredible. I mean, this airplane graveyard, if you look at it and you see all of the technology, the dead tech, it's just so visual. And what we did is we took things like this helicopter and the aircraft and we turned them into set pieces and we moved them around so they would be in a position to tell the story, but also to enable us to make a really exciting scene. I think that my films come out of incredible looking locations. When I see an amazing location, I start thinking about what kind of scene could I set in it. And when you see the Alps in Switzerland and the you know, stuff that looks like this, and Baker, California, which is pure white sand dunes, incredibly hot, and we built a set that's, to me, like the rest areas I used to see on the New York State Thruway, post-apocalyptic, rotting in the desert sun, the wind blowing, the sand, and that's really the post-apocalyptic, the opening of the scene, where we're going to try to do sort of a Mad Max sequence. And I think it's all just new stuff for me. I mean, you know, I've always wanted to do a science fiction film. This script, in one form or another, which I really began about 12 years ago, I called it Room at the End of the Universe, and I've been working on it for many years. I think it has a great through line and a great story and characters that you care about. And I also think it's a very good film for young people. I think that when you see Jesse and Annie, they're romantic, your heart goes out to them, it's very innocent, it's very sweet, and it's really a different take on the world that I think it's refreshing. It's different to me to work in something like that. So Jess comes in, sees it, takes the cork, that's cool. Yeah, takes the cork, touches it to his lips, and then puts the cork back in. And then he wakes up, looks, and then looks at Jesse and goes, you know, I love scenes that are like Rube Goldberg-esque, where the hero comes in here, he has a big problem, the bad guys are chasing him. He looks, what does he see? He sees a crane, he gets into the crane, the bad guys drive underneath him, boom, he drops the magnet on him. He pulls him up into the air, but the bad guys still have something up their sleeve. They push a remote controller, the trunk pops open, a mini helicopter like a Jules Verne creation flies to them. They get on it, they fly towards him. Then Annie, she sees a rock, she picks it up, she throws it, it explodes in a huge fireball. The crack's closing, they're running up the steps, they get in. They're on to the next adventure. And to me, Timemaster is like a series of these great adventures. One of them's in the Wild West, which we shot out at Mescal, and this is really almost like a Back to the Future section. And every part of it, I hope to make as exciting as one of those films was, and I'm really excited where we are now.
Okay, roll them. Tell me when you have speed. Okay. Action!
The Western filmmaking is a very exciting genre to me because when I grew up and I fell in love with movies, a lot of the great directors like Sergio Leone and Sam Peckinpah, who I was privileged to know a little bit, made incredible films that were Westerns. I mean, The Wild Bunch or Once Upon a Time in the West or The Good, Bad, and the Ugly really were wonderful visual action filmmaking, and I'd always wanted to make a Western. So for me, it's very exciting to be out here trying to follow in their footsteps. None of that. Okay. It's been a great thrill for me to show Jesse the Westerns that I love and to try to explain the kind of filmmaking that I love. So this part of it's very exciting for him, for sure. I'm very lucky, obviously, because Jesse's my son. I mean, I can work with him every day, all the time, over a course of years. He can read the scripts, we can discuss them. He knows about filmmaking, he knows about the kind of films I make. We watch films together, we talk about different kind of films. You know, when I say I want you to be like Sergio Leone in the Western scene, he knows what I'm talking about. When I talk about 2001, he knows what that is. He knows what Apocalypse Now is. So he can relate to what I'm trying to do, and I think it helps me a lot. I think in the Sholing Temple scene, what I envisioned was a martial arts sequence that was martial arts as a virtual reality game, as a video game. And I think that if you see a scene that way, it takes you out of the conventional laws of physics. So these people could do things that normal people couldn't do, such as they can fly through the air, they can spin, they can pirouette, and they can do martial arts moves that human beings couldn't do. And then I also wanted to have the cause and effect where a character in the arena would move the joystick and the person would respond accordingly. It's always a thrill to see, like, a big pen and yellow pages turn into something like this. And I think if you have a clear vision in your head and you can articulate that vision to the hundreds of people who are necessary to turn that into film, then you can accomplish that. That's the challenge, is not simply writing the scene, but to be able to articulate all of the nuances from the acting, to the lighting, to the photography, to the stunts, so that people can understand it, take your vision, enhance it with their skills, and bring it to the screen. I think you get to do all the things and play the games that you used to when you were a kid, except that now that you're grown up, I mean, you can blow things up and wreck cars and fall in love and win and lose, and it's a movie and you get to do it, but perhaps it keeps you from doing things in real life. So I just enjoy it very much, and it's a great challenge also to try to put together images and make them come out on film.
No, I'm not tired. It's 4 in the morning and I'm not tired. Keeps going and going and going. Nothing outlasts Jesse. I like making movies because it's a really interesting experience. And I like working for my father because if you're working for another director, someone who's not close to you, you have to get to know them, and that's a relationship you have to make. But this, I'm already close to him, so it's easier to work with him.
Jess, and then you follow in behind your dad as if we're going to find a place for you to pick up here. And
when I read the script, I read it as Jesse, son of the writer, and I was allowed to be objective. And I really liked it. There was some parts I didn't understand because I read the first draft, but after a few drafts, it started to become clearer. And the more I read it, the more clear the idea became to me. What made the flowers grow so fast?
It's what this is all about. It's called life extender.
Life extender?
Yes, it's a very rare blue liquid that can stop, even reverse aging. The only problem with it is once you start taking it, you can't quit. Otherwise, you will turn to dust and age before your very own eyes.
I think the idea of blue is that people don't really get the value of life. They don't realize how valuable it is. I think that's scary because I thought the more advanced technology gets and the more people learn, the more people would appreciate life.
Hey, get away!
For the future, there isn't too much preparation you can do because the future is debatable. No one really knows what the future is going to be like. So because of that, you can't really prepare. But in a way, my thinking, I always think about the future, is a preparation for that sequence.
We're here at the arena, and I'm in the chair that the players of the chess pawns are using. It's very neat. It moves around. It's all pneumatic. It's controlled off screen. All the buttons light up.
When I was in the Western town, I felt I was really a part of it because everywhere you looked, you saw bits of the Old West, and it was really fun for me. My dad and I watch a lot of Western movies, and I always dressed up as a cowboy for Halloween, and this is just a great costume, and being here is like, it puts me in the Old West.
And I'm gonna kill you.
And also I practice shooting a gun because I have to shoot someone in the movie. Well, actually, I went to a camp where there was rifle shooting where you shot 22s at a 50-foot target. And I got very good at that. I became a marksman. So I wasn't all too unfamiliar with the shooting of a gun. And before I actually shot it, I went with the props person, Chris, and she showed me all the safety things about it and how to handle it and how to hold it.
Okay, we're going to switch your gun belt out.
And
so that you have two guns either side.
And let him practice this grip and comfortability of taking his gun out of his holster.
Let me just show this to Jim. I'll be back down and we'll take care of that.
Can you ride a horse?
No, actually, it turns out I'm allergic to horses, so it's kind of funny.
How's it feel being out of the Old West finally?
I kind of miss it, but I love this location because I really love technology. If you just walk around, it's like one big, huge tech lab.
And just looking around, you can learn a lot. We're about to go to Baker, where the sand is supposed to get up to 130, and the actual temperature is in the 120s. So that's going to be interesting.
It's going good. This morning it was really cool. It was 92. I never thought I'd say 92 was cool, but it was 92 compared to 120. So that was good. And there was a breeze.
Okay, everybody in here, let's go, please.
But now it got hotter. It's back to the same old temperature, breezeless.
If you're in here and you're not in the
How you holding up?
go out behind the building.
I'm fine. A lot of people are dropping. They said the scene yesterday where I was running, where I was running for like 30 feet, the people, two background people dropped down. So.
In Baker, California, first day it was 140 degrees in the air. And it took a long time to get used to that temperature difference. And it took a lot of drinking water, a lot of drinking Gatorade, sitting in the shade, being very precautious. And also your whole body adjusts to it. Because when I came back after the Baker sequence, I was cold at 70 degrees and I had to wear a jacket.
We are here on second unit, setting up and knocking down dominoes. Unfortunately, they knock down better on accidental test runs than they do in the real thing.
Step out. I gotta knock these dominoes and then go. Okay.
As soon as you clear it.
Tell me when. Here we go. Go.
It's hard to describe feeling when your feet aren't touching the ground. It's really neat. The blood gets cut off in your legs. And when you're flying during a take, it's really weird because it's kind of hard to remember everything. You have to think about how you're flying and you have to think about your emotion in the scene. And I don't think it's ever been so hard to think about more than one thing. I think it's because all the things you're thinking about are very complicated.
And listen, if he doesn't do it right, we're going to leave him up there. That's it. Okay, good night. See you in the morning.
I really like acting, and I'd like to continue being an actor. But there's also a lot of other stuff I want to do. I like singing. I like inventing. I like skiing. I think I just want to go to college and try a little bit of everything and see what appeals. But I'll always like acting, and I'll always do it for fun. I have a very, very close relationship with my sister, Veronica, and that helps me a lot to do the part, because in the movie, we have a very close relationship. But I am very protective of her, because I love her. She's great.
I love him. I tell him he's the best brother in the universe.
Veronica, why do you like Baker?
Well, I liked how it was a small town, and I liked the sand dunes.
Did you like the strawberry shakes?
Yes.
Dada. Yes, dear.
Can I go back to my spot?
You can stay under here till we're ready to go, honey. Take some water.
What was the most fun for you while you were making this movie so far?
Well, the very most fun.
The very most fun? What was the very most fun?
Was seeing you.
Do I not want to hear this?
Oh, you want to hear this? Well, watching you put makeup on your